The Latvian School of Adelaide is located in Wayville, right on the city fringe, and is a central part of a community complex which includes a church, library, museum, a public hall and cafe catering to the Latvian and broader community. The school is one of about 100 ethnic schools in South Australia that aim to instill the understanding of our many different cultures. It is proud to have promoted and developed the Latvian language and culture in several generations of its people, and has close ties to other groups both here and in Latvia.
Our school's aims are basically to teach language and culture. Culture includes a lot of things like folk dancing, singing, folk tales, stories. We do Easter the Latvian way, we do Jāņi, which is a summer solstice festival, and all these things include singing and dancing and traditions.
As post-war Latvian migrants made a new life for themselves and their families in South Australia, they were determined to maintain the heritage of their homeland. In order to do so, they formed the Latvian Association in 1949. They were keen to teach the Latvian language and culture to their children, and in 1950, the Latvian Saturday School was officially opened. The first classes consisted of 7 students under teacher and principal Margarita Biezaite, and were held on Saturday mornings at St. Stephen's Church Hall in Wakefield Street, Adelaide. By the mid-1950s, the school's attendance increased to about 200 students with 17 teachers. The teaching focused on the Latvian language and literature, history, geography, art, philosophy and religion, as well as singing, folk dancing and social activities. And the classes included kindergarten, grades 1 to 7, and continuing students. As the number of students increased, the school outgrew St. Stephen's and moved to a much larger premises at the Congregational Church Hall in Brougham Place, North Adelaide. And finally, in 1955, the school moved to the newly acquired Latvian Community Centre Tālava in Wayville, where it still resides today. Throughout the 1960s, the children were involved in many performances for Family Day concerts, Līgo, which celebrates the European summer solstice, Christmas, and other festive occasions. In 1966, Tālava was extended to include a large hall, and as part of the extension, the school received dedicated classrooms for the first time. High school classes began in the 1970s, and with the Senior Secondary Assessment Board of South Australia approving the curriculum, the school could now provide classes from Year 8 to matriculation. 6 qualified teachers taught the Latvian language, history and geography. There was also an adult class in conversational Latvian.
I went to Latvian school here when I was younger, and I started at primary school, and the school was quite large at that time. There would have been about 70 children, and in my class there were about 9 students, and it was a very busy school at that time. We were busy with not only studies of Latvian language, but a lot of dancing, a lot of singing and performing in concerts. The lessons in the 70s when I went to school were quite rigorous, and the grammar was very hard, and we had to learn a lot of literature, and lessons were very difficult, I'd say. And now it is taught in a different way, based on the English language and maybe translated in the Latvian, so that the children can understand and can learn from what they know. I think it was really well worth it, because I have a huge community of friends that also came to the Latvian school and grew up with me at the time, and we still keep in contact, and we all still speak Latvian, which is a real bonus. And a lot of those people that I went to school with also send their children to school now.
The 1980s and 90s saw a major change in the needs of the students, with many children starting school knowing only a few Latvian words. Old textbooks were updated by translating modern English picture books to Latvian, and singing and art and crafts were used to build up the children's vocabulary.
The reason the kids keep coming back is because we have a good atmosphere here. They have friends here, and they, have a good feeling of community. They love the cultural stuff, and it becomes part of your life, really.
There's been a lot of change. For one thing, when I was growing up, we'd speak Latvian at home, so it was almost my first language at home. Today, the children come from mixed marriages and the home language is English, so in class they are really learning Latvian as a second language.
Very good.
Since its humble beginnings with 7 students, the school has gone through many changes. And in 1999, it proudly held celebrations for its 50th anniversary. Today, the school continues to teach the Latvian language and culture to a new generation of students, many of whom are the children of old scholars. The students now also learn about the migrant experience of their parents and grandparents.
There's so many cultural things that they are learning. The dancing, the music, just the traditions that the Latvians have. It's so rich and full. There's so much to learn, and I think everybody enjoys all of that information.
The future is if there's more people who will come, if there's more people who will come and join a play group, they'll probably be the next folk dancers and the people who will be interested in having conferences and probably going to see Latvia themselves when they grow up.
Vai palikt septiņi.